Welcome to Cody and the Cinema. Today I'm discussing the July announcements from the Criterion Collection. These titles are ones I'm very excited for, and I can see myself purchasing every single one. One of them is a pretty good upgrade. Some of the stuff I don't even think's been in here before in any capacity, including the first one, You Can Count on Me. Now, this is a 2000 film directed by Kenneth Lonergan, and that is the same director of Manchester by the Sea. I know a lot of people like that film. I certainly did. And the plot, from what I've read, is that a single mother's life is thrown into turmoil. After struggling, there is a brother who's been out of the picture, something to do with a car crash, and now they're trying to kind of mesh things back together. It sounds to me like the kind of character study I would enjoy. It struck me as something that looked pretty good. It has good actors, Laura Linney, Mark Ruffalo, so I'm hopeful for this one. It is the one I'm the least excited about, but I do think I'll at least watch it. I might buy it. I don't know if you all have seen it and really recommend it. Let me know in the comments, and I'll because I'm on the fence about that one, but I think I'm going to get it. We'll see. Okay, the second one that I'm actually really excited for because I hadn't even heard of this picture. So this is called Carnal Knowledge. This was directed by Mike Nichols. Now, he directed a few other really notable films: The Graduate, Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, a film I really like, haven't seen in many years, and The Birdcage. So this story is basically you have Jack Nicholson, Art Garfunkel, and they're kind of, they're going through maybe some playerism, some players, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, with some women over the years, and they're basically just engaging in unfettered toxic masculinity. I think that's what, from what I can tell. I mean, I watched a scene I watched a trailer on the Criterion website and enjoyed what I saw. I thought the script sounded really natural, the dialogue smooth and fluent and just kind of easy to follow. It seemed like something I would like. And I haven't seen, those 60s, 70s Nicholson films. I mean, they're usually pretty good, so I think I'm going to enjoy that. If you all have seen it and like it, want to recommend it, again, let me know. I'm definitely getting that, and it did look like something I would enjoy. Now, the thing I think probably is going to have the biggest maybe hype around it is something I've kind of been on the lookout for, and that is a 4K of Barry Lyndon, Stanley Kubrick's absolute masterpiece of a film. I think Martin Scorsese at one point said it was his favorite. I don't know if that's still true or not, but he did say that. And this is my Blu-ray copy. And I may or may not upgrade. I don't know. I usually don't, but here's the thing. Barry Lyndon is one of the prettiest films ever made for a lot of reasons. Just the way it was filmed, the natural candlelight, for example. I've heard people say that every scene looks like a painting. But basically, this was based off of a novel, and this kind of follows this life of a sort of improvise, make it up as he goes, kind of trickster, huckster. And this guy rises from being just a nobody out in the country through war and so forth into high society, especially when he marries this woman, and he takes the last name there. This film is not a slow, boring costume drama. And I want to repeat that. If you have ever had a reservation about seeing Barry Lyndon because you thought it was slow or that it would be, kind of pretty with uninteresting characters, trust me, Barry Lyndon is one of the best films you'll ever see in any genre. It's funny, it's clever, it's definitely cynical, and I love that about it. The humor is dry, maybe, would be something that would off-put some people, and there are a few times that this really takes a chance as a film. There's one shot in particular where Stanley Kubrick doesn't even really show us a battle because he's more interested in some character drama. Great decision there. Beautiful, awesome, powerful soundtrack. And I often think to myself, what's my favorite scene in any movie? Is it a scene from Once Upon a Time in the West? Maybe. It's my favorite movie. Or is it a scene from The Searchers? The opening scene, the closing scene? Maybe. But one scene I'm always tossing around in my mind as being one of my favorites is the moment that Barry Lyndon meets the Countess. The way that all goes down is so beautifully shot and thrilling and engaging, and not a lot happens. And it still just sort of wraps you up in the drama and the tension. and it's also a beautiful film. If you come away with nothing else from this video, please watch Barry Lyndon or watch it again. It's so beautiful. It's such a good film. So that's getting a 4K. Now the two things I'm really looking forward to that I don't have, well, okay, so there's this video called The Adventures of Antoine Wanel, and I did not know prior to this announcement that the 400 Blows had multiple movies with this character. And I don't know how I didn't know that. I felt like I had missed something big that I was supposed to know. But Francois Truffaut directed the 400 Blows, and that's included in this pack of movies. That's where this starts. And funny enough, Truffaut was, I didn't know this at the time of watching it, but he was in the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And if you ever want to see Spielberg's reactions to that, you have to just Google those two working together. Masterful director, great actor in that film, and he really created something special with this character. I mean, the 400 Blows, I showed that to my wife, and I hadn't seen it in many years, still my little DVD copy here. You know, she really loved it, found it to be charming, funny, poignant, you know, that kind of thing. I think this whole movement was important within French New Wave, right? Just awesome, and I love the artwork, the packaging. I think it includes this film, The 400 Blows, which I only have a DVD of, Stolen Kisses, Bed and Board, Love on the Run, and then another short there, and I guess special features. I'm so glad this got added. I feel like it's been a little while since we've had a compilation like this. I'm looking over at my collection of my Pasolini there. Was maybe the last one I bought from them that had like that many films in it, unless it was that Western pack with the Bud Bedecker stuff. But I'm extremely happy that's coming out. I think Criterion needs to push that. You know, we used to have, I've talked about Criterions I want back from, you know, not being in print anymore. And we used to have stuff like the Dreyer collection, right? And I really want them to do more of this. So I'm glad that we have this. I'm glad that this character's story is being printed in the films that came with it. And also, the lead actor, and I'm not great with French, but I think it's Jean-Pierre Lot, the lead actor of this and of this series, was recently the main actor of The Mother and the Whore, which I've recommended on this channel a few different times. So if you recognize him from there, great actor, really should, you know, I think it's going to be a big hit for them. The film I'm most excited for, one of my favorite it's actually becoming maybe my favorite film noir. Okay, this is called The Big Heat from Fritz Lang. I did a video on this, and I just have such a respect for this film. I think it might actually be my favorite Fritz Lang film, although there are some I've got that I need to watch through. I've only seen a few of his films. What a director, even an actor, just like Truffaut I mentioned being in the Spielberg picture. Fritz Lang is actually in Jean-Luc Godard's Contempt. Great role in there, but excellent director. And his film noir hits so hard. You know, it's about this guy named Dave Banyan, and he is on a kind of, you know, this suicide investigation, and he starts to uncover corruption, and that corruption causes him some problems, and he just keeps going deeper, you know, almost like a quicksand effect. And it has a terrific performance from Lee Marvin, who you may recognize as Liberty Valance. And I actually think the character Lee Marvin plays in this film noir is even meaner and nastier than Liberty Valance. I think the whole film, in fact, is one of the bleakest that I've seen. There's so much, you know, corruption from the top down, and I think people who are used to seeing institutions fail them time and time again and seeing no justice at a societal level are really going to enjoy this film. It is incredibly timely for a film from, 1953. And Glenn Ford, as usual, gives a great performance in this role. I think he was perfectly suited for it. I really like him in 3:10 to Yuma, which I talk about constantly on this channel. So I'm excited for each of these releases. You know, like I said, you can count on me. You all can tell me if you think I should pick that up. Carnal Knowledge, I am going to pick up. Barry Lyndon, if I ever upgrade the 4K, I certainly wouldn't have anything against that other than the price, but get Barry Lyndon if you don't have it in your collection, even if it's the Blu-ray. The Adventures of Antoine Wanel, I'm getting that for sure. And The Big Heat, I will go ahead and get a copy of as well and watch that again because I love that film. If you like the video today and you want to click the like button, that will help grow the channel. And I do like to talk about Criterion announcements that I'm excited for, like this one. I also talk about all kinds of Criterion Collection topics, recommendations. Another thing I focus a lot on is like Westerns, which I have, as you can see behind me, I really like talking about Westerns. And, tell me your thoughts on the announcements, and we'll see you next time. Cody in the Cinema.